That's pretty good. All right, so we are live. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome to all of you watching online, and then for all of you here, I'll try to just scroll around so everyone can get a view of everybody here. These are all our friends here in person. Pretty big crowd, so we're happy to see that. Obviously, thanks for all of you online. So tonight we have our first company information session of the semester. And to kick it off, we have the amazing Modernizing Medicine and then our amazing guest speaker. So some of you may have heard of us talk about Modernizing Medicine. I think it's like the unofficial like #1 company of MISA, whether it's that way or it's just come about. We've done some awesome tours there, and we've had a lot of alums that have been placed there, so that's been great. And tonight we have our amazing guest speaker. So our speaker is actually really near and dear to MISA because not only is he an alum of our undergraduate MIS, an alum of our graduate MSITM, and then now also a faculty member, he's also a premium member of MISA. And so he's been involved with MISA, I think, pretty much since day one when he started the program as an undergrad. And so we really appreciate all the support and everything he's done throughout the years, especially now with him being in the position he is, to be able to hire a lot of our students and get them to further be on the team at Modernizing Medicine. So with that, I don't want to take any more of his time. So can we give a nice, warm MISA virtual and in-person round of applause for Mr. Shannon Stewart?
All right. You guys can hear me out there? Yeah, okay. See the mics. All right, so yeah, like Dr. Sweet was saying, my name's Shannon Stewart. I was a MIS undergrad at FAU, MSITM grad at FAU. I did the accelerated program. So he had hair before, didn't he? Yes. He had a lot of hair before. Yeah, so like I was saying, so undergrad, grad here at FAU. I did the accelerated program. So the 5-year program, I advise anybody who's in MIS to do that program. The difference between a master's and a bachelor's in salary is about 30 to 40,000. So that one extra year will get you 30 to 40,000. So just think about that when you're going through the program. Outside of that, I do a lot of things with the school, FAU. Like he was saying, I'm an adjunct professor here. I teach mobile apps for business, which is a grad and undergrad class. And then I also teach fundamentals of information systems tonight, 7 o'clock. So right after this, I got to go teach class after coming from work all day. So it's definitely a lot on my plate, but I love it. I like to stay busy. Also, just retired from the military, 20 years. So did that too. So you can say I stay busy. So yeah. So today I wanted to talk about the company that I ended up at after graduating FAU, and I kind of want to segue into it just by talking about the journey of like being a student, because I think that's what's important to you guys. How do I transition from being a student to being a professional, corporate America, and all that stuff like that. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It isn't easy, but if you are persistent and you play the odds, you'll land in a good place somewhere. And even if it's your first job, it's not a good place. I mean, stick it out for a little bit, gain the experience, and move on to the next job, especially in tech. Moving job to job is kind of recommended every 2 or 3 years. If you're not moving in within that company, kind of jump to another company to kind of move up. So when I was a student here, I remember my last semester, I started panicking. Like I was freaking out because like, all right, it's done now. What do I do next? And so I started applying to jobs, like all these jobs. And I created a spreadsheet to track all the jobs that I applied to, which I definitely advise you guys to do. So, you don't apply to the same jobs twice. But by the time that I got to an interview, I had already put in 88 applications. So just so you know, you're not always the first 1 or 2 jobs that you apply for, or the first 10 jobs you apply for, or the first 12 jobs you apply for. It may be that 88th job that you apply for, that's the one. And that's what I mean when I say play the numbers game, because if you saturate the market with your resume, at least out of 100, you should get at least 5 callbacks. And then you just got to make sure you're rocking that interview on those 5 callbacks. Another big thing also, resume. Use the resources that the school put in place for you to make your resume more presentable to companies and anywhere you want to apply. Honestly, the first 80 places I applied to, I was using the same resume that I created myself. And I actually got with someone here at the Career Center, and they went over it, redlined it, moved stuff around, and they made it all nice. And the next 10 jobs, out of the next 10 jobs that I applied to, I got 6 offers. So it was simple as my resume just wasn't looking great. So I who knows, if for those 80 jobs, if I had that resume or used that resource earlier, probably would have had like 20 or 25 offers. So just, I say that to say, just utilize the resources that you have at the school. And FAU is really big on pushing, career growth, career development. I think this school has one of the best ROIs in terms of degree. A lot of the students that leave FAU end up in really nice positions, make really nice money. So yeah, so that's my rant about me. Now we can talk about Mountain. So Modernizing Medicine. Anybody know some of you are definitely familiar with Modernizing Medicine. Some of you applied to Modernizing Medicine. Seen your names across the desk sometimes. But anybody else know what Modernizing Medicine does? Anyone that wasn't aware before? No? We got a shy room there. So it's cool. So Modernizing Medicine, we're an electronic health records company. We are considered one of the best electronic health records companies in the nation, actually. And we'll get down to all the awards and stuff like that. But we are ranked #1 in 9 specialties as the EHR. And we've held that. We've never given up the title once we hit #1. So every time we get to #1 in a specialty, we stay #1 in that specialty because there is no competition for us. And because the market we're only 10% in the market, there's 90% of the market left. So we have a lot of growth left. And with that, we're hiring 500 people this year alone. And that's on the low end. It's really more like 1,000 people this year. So last year we did 1,000 and change. The year before that, we did 1,000 and change. So company's growing fast, company's making money, good place to work. I'm not sure if my recruiter is online. Can I look here? Join. No, she isn't. I was gonna say she might jump in later. All right, so this is our, we just have to have this on every slide. It's a legal thing saying that anything we say is in the future or it's happening, it's still hearsay and all that jazz like that. But that's a new thing they started adding to all the slides.
Copy working.
Huh? Yeah. So we are specialty specific healthcare technology. Our mission is to place doctors and patients at the center of care through an intelligent, specialty specific cloud platform. Our vision is a world where software we build increases medical practice success and improves patient outcomes. So to put that in short terms, we like to give time back to the doctors. Most doctors today, you see, they're in, and you guys went to the doctor recently, they come in a room, they spend 5 minutes with you, maybe 10 minutes. Then they're on the computer, typing in notes, typing in all the stuff that they saw in that 10 minutes, and just really not about the patient. And I don't think any doctor went into the field to be a computer entry person. They went to field to treat people. So what our application does, which runs on an iPad, by the way, I don't think there's any other EHR that runs on an iPad. What our application does, it allows doctors to spend more time talking to their patients and less time charting, because we use artificial intelligence to kind of predict what the note is going to be. And we'll get into that as well. These are some of the initiatives we actually have within our company. So the company is very big on the social aspect. We have different specialty groups, we call them. Reach is about relationship, equality, awareness, community, and health group. So basically, religious beliefs, ideologies, political beliefs, all those people, they are in that club at ModMed. Unity is about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this group really does a lot of projects on, social justice and things like that. And then WIT is our Women in Innovation and Technology. That's our biggest side group in the company. And with WIT, even though it's women in innovation, there are men in this group as well. And it's about just empowering, women to, leadership roles in the company and things like that. Our CFO's female, and we hire a lot of female executives. So a lot of our high up executives, VPs are all female, because our CEO, he's very big on, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So ModMed at a glance. 2015, we picked up a company called GMed, which is a gastroenterology product. That was our second vertical that we ventured into. Our first was dermatology. Now we are the 80% market leader in dermatology EHR. So we run that, basically that whole specialty. GMed was our second, and now is our second biggest vertical. And we own, I believe, about 70% of the market in EHR for G Gastro. The founders, Dan Kane and Michael Sherling, you'll see a picture of them soon. They started the company in 2013. Slides are kind of out of order, or these buttons are kind of out of order, but they started the company in 2013. And the way it came about was Dan is a serial entrepreneur. Not sure any of you are old enough to know what Blackboard is, or the ones that you guys are old enough to know. So Blackboard was the canvas before Canvas was the canvas, or D2L. If some of you guys came from Broward College, D2L was like a big thing. So Dan actually created Blackboard when he was in college. So he went to Cornell. He was a freshman in college, and he was tired of getting handouts, paper handouts from his professor, his marketing professor specifically. So he walked up to her and he asked her, hey, what if I could create a repository where you could upload all of your documents, and then that way the whole class could sign in and see the documents. And that was the birth of Blackboard. And then Blackboard went on to be a billion-dollar company. He ended up selling the company for $1.62 billion when he was like 31 or 32. So retired, young, lot of money. He got bored. So he got bored sitting at home being rich. So what he did was he went to his dermatologist one day, and he noticed that his dermatology office still had a lot of those paper records. I don't know if you guys know, like doctor's offices, like back in the day, it was just like lines of papers, and they had those moving shelves. You had to like move them and find the patient information. And it just gave him so much dread inside, because he had solved the paper issue for school. Why can't I solve the paper issue for medicine? So he talked to his dermatologist, Michael Sherling, and he said, hey, do you want to start a company? And Michael was like, sure. And that was the birth of ModMed, literally. Now, ModMed is on the way to being a billion-dollar company. Last year, we did $300 million in revenue from recurring clients. So that's not even net new clients. After they started the company, they received $332 million in total investment from an investment firm. And with that, they began ramping the company up and by bringing in more employees, building the infrastructure of the company, all the backbone of the company. And now this is outdated. We are definitely over 1,000, but we're actually at 3,000 now as of last year. We have headquarters in Boca Raton, so we're literally right across the street here at the Brick campus on Yamato, that really big, oddly shaped building. So that used to be, that's where the PC was actually birthed, at that headquarters location right there. That was IBM's headquarters back in the 80s, or yeah, I think 80s or 70s, somewhere around there. But that's where the first PC was actually built, and he felt very, nostalgic with it. So he decided that that would be a great place for Modernizing Medicine to, house their headquarters. But we actually used to be right here on FAU's campus in the research part for quite a while. We do have offices we have an office in Santiago, Chile. We bought a company down there, and then we have an office there. We just bought another company in Germany. So we have an office in Germany now, a Berlin office. And we are in the middle of buying an office in India. So that's going to be our next global office. And we just bought another company last week. And that one was in Ohio or somewhere around there. But we're going to probably end up closing that office down. All right, so Modernizing Medicine really surrounds itself with 3 core things, and that's the cloud, being mobile, and being AI. When you blend, cloud and mobile, you get a modern system. And then when you blend mobile and AI, you get an adaptive system. Blending cloud and AI, you get a wise system. So basically, we say that to say this. Most systems are legacy. Most doctors' offices own very legacy systems. And when we say legacy, we're talking about doctors have servers underneath their desks, like EHRs, our competition. Their doctors have a server underneath their desk, maybe Sally's desk. She has it under there, and that's how they're running their records. Everything's on site in person, and it's just not a scalable way to do business, especially in healthcare. So we are a cloud-based system. All of our stuff is hosted in AWS. So it's accessible everywhere we go. Any doctor can pull up their information that they need to, diagnose a patient. Mobile, our app is mobile. Like I said, it's on an iPad, and you're gonna see some demos of what it looks like. These are the new upgraded slides for anybody who's seen this presentation before. So what makes our app a lot better is that a doctor can literally walk in a room, he can walk around the office, and he can still be charting quickly, get done with his patient, move on to the next patient. Whereas most other EHRs, you're inside, it's a stationary desktop, or it's in the doctor's office, and he has to go in, sit down, type. With this, we allow a lot of flexibility to our doctors. And a lot of our systems are actually connected to different instruments as well. So you can actually connect the iPad directly to your eye. For our ophthalmology guys, they use the eye thing. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, the eye thing. And the ear connects directly into our iPad, and then you can document like things about your patient directly on the iPad. And then AI, analytics. Analytics gives physicians insight into finances, public health, and more to help their practice more efficiently. So the way we use analytics and AI at ModMed is 2 ways, really. So we use the AI to help doctors get paid. And if you're not in the medical field, you've probably never seen this, but when a doctor submits he sees you and he submits your illness or whatever it is to your insurance company, the insurance company, a lot of the times, they kick those back because either something's not right, or something's not written correctly, or something's too long, something's too short, X, Y, Z. So we use AI to enable our doctors to have practically I think it's like a 98% accuracy with submitting their notes and getting paid. So our doctors are very appreciative. Our system is pretty expensive, but that's because there's a lot of value in it. These doctors are also getting paid a lot more than they were if they weren't using our system. Traditional EHR, a doctor would probably get paid around like 70% of the stuff, his billables. Like 70% of the things that he puts up, he's gonna get paid. The other 30%, he's not even getting paid for that. And if he did get paid, he has to pay that money back. So that's what we want to eliminate, get that stress off of the doctors. Oh, the other way we use AI, before I move on, is to, all of our doctors are connected. Oh, yeah, no question. Oh, yeah, all of our doctors are connected through our system. And with that, we're able to say, you're a dermatologist and he's a dermatologist, and you're seeing a rash that you've never seen before. So you start, typing in the symptoms, you see a red rash with like spotted pimples or things like that. Our AI is smart enough to pull data from every single dermatologist in our system and see if any of them have ever seen anything like this, what they use to diagnose it, what did they prescribe for it, what could it possibly be. It's going to give you the top 10 possible or top 3 possible diagnoses of that problem. And that's when I say, when we're moving our doctors faster to be able to complete these notes faster, they're not having to go and research and things like that. It's literally that's popping up in front of them like, hey, oh, this might be rosacea, bam. And then it'll start, the more they tap through, the more the note gets built out automatically. They don't actually have to even write the note. The note gets written by itself, by the AI. So I know AI is scary for a lot of people, especially when, we talk about the whole jobs thing and, oh, it's going to take our jobs, but we don't want to take any doctors' jobs. We just want to make them more happier, less burnout, and that's the goal of the company. Yeah.
I want to ask, I don't know if you
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'll get to that toward the end. So yeah, some of the healthcare industry things that we want to adjust, but fix. So for medical providers, it's greater documentation complexity. So we want to reduce that complexity for them. They don't have to, spend so much time writing notes. For practices, evolving operational and analytical needs, we want these practices to be a lot more, not reliant on the AI, but a lot more trusting of the AI to allow them to do their jobs faster and be better at that. Patients, greater patient engagement. We like the collaborate. We actually just bought a communication company called Clara. They do healthcare communications, and we are merging their product with our product to allow end-to-end communication with your doctor. It'll come through like a text message. There's a whole website app they have, and it's just going to allow for a much better experience with your doctor. Payment complexity, we have a payment solution as well, which we add on as one of our services to the regular system. Regulatory, that's what I was talking about when I said, the doctors getting paid for their work. We are heavy with the regulatory system, and we make sure that our doctors do get paid the most out of any other EHR. And then ecosystem, all of our systems are tied together. The iPad, the back-end system, patient management, and various other add-ons to our service, they all work together to create a complete ecosystem for a doctor. So as a patient comes in, you also get logged in the patient management system. Billing for the doctor's offices, we do the billing for the doctor's offices as well. And now a new avenue that we're actually moving into is doing the marketing for our doctor's offices. Found that a lot of clients, a lot of the doctors don't have websites. You have to call the doctor's office. You can't set an appointment. So we're actually offering the service now where we're building out a website, building out apps for the doctors so they can, tie in our services as well. We can skip that one. Oh, these are some of our doctors. So what makes our product different from other EHRs is most EHRs, they bring in developers, and then they sit those developers with the doctors, and then the doctor says, hey, I would like the app to do this, or I would like the app to do that. And it's a lot of market research and a lot of that stuff. What we wanted to do was be completely different. And there's no other EHR that's doing this. What Dan did was he created a special language, a special coding language that doctors would understand. And then he taught the doctors how to code. And so our program is written by the very people that it serves. So our dermatology EHR is written by the dermatologist, actually the co-founder, Michael Sherling. And these are all the other doctors that are on the team. This is the first page. These are all the other doctors that we hire on the team. I believe we have about 30 doctors, and each of them they code daily on these applications to make them work for their specialty. Yeah.
So were these doctors that used to do practice medicine and now are full time, or
No.
they still?
So they still practice. So they still practice 2 to 3 days a week. And then because we use them as guinea pigs as well. So new services, new products, we add it to their doctor's offices to test out before we put it public. So that's also part of the capture with that. But yeah, they're amazing set of people. Dr. Servos, she's actually the dean over here, or one of the deans at the College of Medicine. So yeah, she has multiple. She has a gastro doctor's office. She does this for my med, and she's she's raking in the bucks. These are some of our other doctors, other specialties. And most of our doctors are the top people of their specialty. So we recruit very high-end people. A lot of these guys are the best of the best in their specialties. So our solution versus the competitor, ours is very specialty specific, cloud, touch-based, mobile first, intelligent, adaptive, saves time. Most EHRs are one size fits all, client server, a lot of typing, clicking, and a lot of add-ons as well. You can skip this one. Yeah, so this is our product. This is what it looks like on an iPad. So if you've been to a doctor's office, you've probably never seen a visual EHR. Most doctor's offices, a black screen with the green letters, and they're still typing MS-DOS to put records in. It's very line-based, and it's just so antique. This is ours. A doctor literally, he just comes in, sees something on your face, he can tap right here, draw an X, put a pimple, whatever he wants, and really get down to detailing the issues. And all of this, the visual stuff gets transcoded into words by the AI. So if you're saying oh, you see a mark here on the face or something on the body, the AI will pick that up and actually write that in the note you're seeing. And the AI writes in medical speak as well. So it sounds like it's coming from a doctor. Intelligence and automation. All of the ICD-10 codes that doctors use to code and get paid are built into the system. So doctors don't have to remember these things anymore with our system. They can just kind of tap the place. ICD-10 expert will let them know hey, this is ICD.10.5.6 or something like that. So again, saving time for the doctors. This is our suite of products. So this is patient management over here. This is Emma, which is the electronic medical assistant. This is what the doctors mark up. This is what the front office uses over here for like patient data and things like that. And then we have our telehealth. So, during COVID, we didn't even have a telehealth product when COVID started. And literally our developers and the CEO, they coded a whole telehealth solution within 2 weeks. And we launched telehealth 2 weeks after COVID, like 2 weeks after the whole lockdown and thing. And now it's one of our biggest sellers in our products. And then our apps actually have what's called Beacon in them. So as you walk into these offices, these doctors' offices, you automatically get checked in because we use Apple Beacon to actually speak to any iOS devices that happen to walk into the office. So the doctors automatically know you're checked in for your appointment. You don't have to walk up and sign in or none of that stuff. Some more stuff. This is ophthalmology. It's eye capture. What's that? Yeah. The models, you're talking about the pictures? Mhm. So most of these are actually drawn. We actually have an illustrator on staff, and she's been with the company since the company started. She drew most of all of everything that's in Emma. She drew all of those body parts, everything. So she's the only illustrator in the company, and so she's got job security because she's got to keep drawing and making them nicer and better. She doesn't AI generate. But as far as like when you see the pictures in there, the doctors are able to take pictures and add them to the notes, which is the benefit of having the iPad because it has a camera on the back. They can just, oh, let me take a picture of that mole or whatnot. They take a picture and upload it right into their Emma chart, and it's able to be seen every time. Yeah, so this is a doctor. She's doing a telehealth while using the application to chart. So she's on the phone with the client doing telehealth, and she's actually charting while she's doing it. Multitasking. No other EHR could do that. So this is our playbook. Hire physicians for each specialty. Teach them how to code using our proprietary markup language. And then build customized knowledge-based features and workflows for each specialty. It usually takes us about 3 years to spin up a specialty, and it takes us about 2 years to become #1 in that specialty. So we've done several, as you're going to see here. So we started with dermatology 2011, 2013. We picked up ophthalmology, and then we actually worked with another company called Eyefinity. And then 2014, we picked up orthopedics. RCM is that's when we started revenue cycle management, which is handling the billing for the doctors. Before we weren't in that business, but we bought a company that was in that business, and now we're pretty big in that business now. We also picked up plastics that year as well. Then we bought GMed 2015, picked up ENT, pain management, added the analytics portion, practice management, pathology, image management. And I don't have to go through all of them, but this is our future roadmap right here. We just opened allergy as a vertical last year, allergy, immunology, and asthma. And then OBGYN, which is like one of the biggest markets. We just started that market as well. And it's off to a crazy start. This is the company I was telling you that does the communications that we acquired, Clara. And this is the marketing service that I was explaining, like we're gonna build websites for these clients and things like that. So our Black Book rankings actually come out tomorrow for the next year. So Dan is very anxious right now, as he mentioned yesterday, because he always gets really antsy around that time, around Black Book rankings time. But as you can see, we've held #1 for gastro for 11 years now. Derm we've had since 2014, plastics since 2016. And like I said, once we hit #1 we never lose it, or we haven't lost it, knock on wood, because it comes out tomorrow. And we just picked up urology and podiatry last year, the #1 EMR. 2020 Inc. Best Places to Work. Med ranks pretty high up there. We haven't done it in 2 years because of COVID, but this year we're actually doing it again for 2023. Best Places to Work. Pretty sure we're gonna rank high. This is just a fraction of the people that are in the company, a very small fraction, but that's our campus back there. Really nice, beautiful campus. If you guys ever get the chance to do a company tour. Our core values: create customer delight, save time, innovate boldly, make things happen, align passion with purpose, think big, have fun, and do good. And these are our superstar leaders of the company. Dan King, co-founder and chief executive, came from Blackboard. Michael Sherling, the Harvard and Yale grad. Dr. And Brown. We're not gonna diss Brown. Michelle Shearer, she was a CFO at GM and Thomson Reuters. Joe Harpaz also was a president at Thomson Reuters as well. Mark Fletcher came from KLL Gates. He's also a double Harvard grad, actually a triple Harvard grad. He has a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctor, JD from Harvard. So, and then all these rock stars down here. We're very big on hiring talent that is proven, like talent that, or at this level, talent that's done a lot in scaling and keeping companies afloat. Yeah, so that's it for the slideshow. So your question about what I do. All right, so I'm the senior manager of IT support at ModMed. I started out there as a supervisor when I left college. Then I went to manager, then senior manager, and fingers crossed, in about a month, should be director. So we'll see. At least that's what my boss said. I don't know if he's lying or not, but yeah, that's what he told me. So I run the IT support team, and underneath that IT support team, I have another team called Assets and Provisioning. So what they do is they handle all of IT's budget, our department budget. So it's about like 3 or 4 million that they're in charge of, making sure that we, allocate that properly throughout the year. They also provision all the new hire machines. They provision all the access for all the employees. So every new employee that starts with the company, they have to meet my team. That's the first team they meet. So, and we get them up to speed, ready to work and on their way. We also do all of the terminations. So like when someone's leaving the company, we collect their equipment, turn off all their access, all that stuff. So that's what Assets and Provisioning does. The support side of my team, they do all of the ticketing. So every troubleshooting, all the issues with the employees, or can't get on the internet, or this isn't working, that's not working. That's what my support side does. The bigger picture of the IT team, so under me, I have 16 people. And then my cohort, or my partner, counterpart, he has about 10, and he runs the system administrator side of the team. So all of the Okta admin, the Google admin, the VoIP admin, like all the big infrastructure guys, they're all under his team. And then at the top of that is my boss, the vice president of IT. So yeah, that's what I do. Go ahead, ask away.
Recording.
Oh yeah.
So on board.
Oh, wrong one. What is that?
There you go.